Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-52439. Yep. 205-964-52439. You know.
Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are. Welcome to today's live stream. We're here to talk about real estate investing with a strong emphasis on wholesaling real estate where your cash or credit really does not matter. Today's topic, this is why most new wholesalers quit. This is why most new wholesalers quit. Got our guys here in Florida, near Tampa. Got Chevy. We got Torian in Memphis in Tennessee, and I'm here in Birmingham, Alabama. So
the ham.
The ham. So make sure you guys follow us in all the places around the globe, around the internet. You're right here on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, tap the little bell so you are alerted whenever we go live and upload new content. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch, LinkedIn, X, formerly known as the Twitter. We're everywhere. So we're here to answer your questions, try to get you closer to a paycheck. And just on a side note here, related still to real estate and just making money, period. Obviously, money made in a lot of different ways, especially here in America. We pay a lot of money for convenience. I guess taking the convenience / time. Normally, what convenience relates into, it saves me time, so we'll pay more for something than we normally would have to pay for just for the convenience of it. That's why they call, gas stations / convenience stores, because you pump in the gas and then you go in the store and you buy a bottle of water for $2.59 when you can almost buy a 6-pack for that, right? But the water's already there, so now I don't have to go to the grocery store or blah, 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 or carry it around in my car. I have to keep it cool if I want it cold. So we pay for convenience, and then then money is also made when and this, I don't know what's number one. I have to probably think through it in my mind what would be number one, but this would be just what other people don't know, right? Or what other people are not willing to do, even if they do know it. I guess that goes back to convenience too, though. But what other people don't know, and it comes up because of a family situation where just people don't know it. All right, it's basically a situation where some family members, okay, let me see, because I ain't trying to put nobody out there or whatever, but number one, knowing who you're dealing with. Let me just say that okay. So, like with a house and land, well, a house has to sit on some land somewhere, right? Normally, if it's sitting on the land, the person owns the land too. But with the mobile home, it could be a situation where the mobile home is there. You own the mobile home, but you don't own the land that it's sitting on. That's very, very common, especially in rural areas, right? It may be a family member, and you may, especially where I'm from, where I grew up, you may see a cluster of mobile homes, and it's not a mobile home park. It's just all family members. And they've just put, mobile homes there and stuff. So one person may just own the land, or in a lot of cases, air property. And so, but with a mobile home, they're not like a house where a deed is prepared, right? Each time a new deed is prepared, each time a sale occurs. A mobile home is like an automobile. You just have one title unless it's lost. So you have a replacement title. So each time that property is the ownership is transferred or through a sale or somebody that's giving it to them. They just sign the deed in a different place. I mean, the title in a different place. And so, so by this certain family member and them not knowing that all they had to do for somebody to convey it to them is just to sign it over to them. So, but just from not knowing that, you think you don't have you don't have ownership of it, really technically you do because you're looking in it. It's just a lack of communication and not knowing. That's how people get taken advantage of in a lot of cases. That's why people make money legitimately in a lot of cases, because you just don't even know something as simple as that the land is not attached to the mobile home, right? Or whoever you stay there, you're staying there. It's not the same thing or whatever. It just made me just think about like just man, like you know, and I talk to a lot of people, right, in some form or fashion. And like whenever people say like, you know, you can't make money this way, and I say, man, people just don't always be able to make money just for what others don't know. You know what I mean? It just, and that ain't nothing new. That's been going on since the beginning of the time, I'm sure. But you make money on what others don't know. Not that you're taking advantage of, because they have the same opportunity to know the same thing. I'm constant in argument with one of my other relatives. I'm not going to call their name either about that. I'm like, I could have looked that up on the internet. No, they hiding it from you. They're not hiding it from you when I could have just Googled that and it comes up. That's not being they, quote unquote, whoever the hell they are. That's not being hidden from you. It was a Google search away.
Yeah.
They thought they hiding it from you. Huh? No, it was a Google search away.
I think what you're saying, it even go. I'm talking about the conversation you said with the person where they don't understand or they didn't go out after the knowledge. It goes back to your belief system. Like if you don't believe that there's another way, you won't find for another way. You just won't go out there and try to find another way.
I ain't even think about that. You're right. You're right. I can't.
You know the information that's out there. Yeah.
My natural thought is to look deeper. I'm just not automatically going to go by what somebody say, right? Years ago, and that's why when I looked up why, since maybe like the 1700s and coming forward, there's been more advancement in technology than the previous thousands of years before, and it's because of they said that the lack of the literacy rate, the illiteracy rate, I guess you'd say, was very high. But only a very few people could read, right? And then religious beliefs suppressed a lot of the religious leaders. They were the one that could read, so they basically gave you what they want you to know, right? For the masses, I mean. And then the invention of the telegraph allowed people to share ideas from one place to another. A lot of times you wouldn't know anything beyond where you live, you know, within probably a few miles in reality or whatever. But now you can literally internationally share ideas. Yeah, I may have invented the telephone, but someone took another layer and invented electricity. I'm just using that example. I know they may not be related. Somebody else took that same base of knowledge because they were exposed to it, they took it to the next level.
Like the fax machine.
Yeah, the fax machine. Exactly. That's a better example with the telephone. Exactly. Now you can, like, you send actual printed document or the image of whatever was faxed over to someone else using a telephone line or the internet, obviously. So yeah. So anyway, that just amazes me. It just like it's more to it than that. But I'm like, we wouldn't do that anyway.
And you have to keep it in mind too, Todd, that you have exposed yourself to this knowledge. So it's gonna seem like, just like you're saying, the library is free. I mean, you could find out this stuff, but if you haven't seen it and stretched your brain, you just see what you see. You don't see anything else until you know what you always say. You don't know what you don't know. What you don't know, what you don't know.
Yeah. But I know I don't know it. You know what I'm saying? So I get that. So you read what you said. I'm reiterating what you said is that a lot of people not even willing to expand. You know, just know it, which is fine. That's fine. That's fine. but that allows individuals to make money off of those individuals that ain't, because that same basic knowledge, people make just a lot of money on it just because people are not willing to go beyond what they don't know. I want to learn multiple things every day if I can.
Every day.
If I can, not that I'm gonna ever use it, but I can be exposed because it may come into play in some other way or whatever.
But good thing, people that are around you, you're exposing what you know to everybody that's around you. So
yeah, they called me asking me because it's real estate related. I said that's just a right and wrong. No, just deed it over to them. I mean, write the title over to them. You ain't have to call me and ask me. That's what you should do. That's just the right thing to do. It's still deeper than that, but call me for that.
All right. Jim Scarborough was the first person out. He's saying, "Hi, Flipman. Trump has put, I don't know, I know tariffs, but I don't know what he's talking about with it." But Gemini Ways, welcome back. Let's get it. You got Gary Rawls. Welcome back, Gary. What's up, everybody? Karen has a question. I sent an offer letter to a realtor. They responded to send POF for my offer of $35K. Seller has not accepted the offer yet. Is this worth my time? Should I walk away?
Well, you can't make them sell it to you. But a lot of times what they'll do is they got your offer and an agent will sort of sit on it. They may have had some other people that have already reached out and made an offer that we got this offer here. Somebody may have made an offer even less than that, right? And they try to play that or whatever. And then sometimes they just won't call you back or whatever. Nothing, just move on. That's normal.
I mean, it's typical for the agent to gather up offers before they present it to the sellers. That's normally what they do as well. Mm-hmm. So even though you might make an offer, I mean, we've been making tons of offers, and the realtor is like, hey, send over this, send over that, and then, they're like, well, we accepted somebody else with a better offer. I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The homie Ron, welcome to the live. Shaking it up with Pepper. Good afternoon. Stephen Vaughn, good afternoon, brothers. Philly in the house. And Beverly Thomas, welcome back. Stephen Vaughn, have any of you gents dealt with and sold a container home?
No, I've looked into it just out of interest or whatever. It wouldn't be anything that I would want to do. It seems to be fairly interesting. I was looking at just speaking of just trying to always consume stuff. Over in China, they have I don't know why that's in my feed right now. It's just amazing. Really, the social media sites, they're really not difficult to figure out, because if you feed people, what you consume is what they're gonna keep feeding you, right? Yeah. I don't know at what point. Now, I look at a lot. This is what I normally look at, right? I look at a lot of tech stuff, real estate related, some real estate stuff, obviously, and then I look at like starter stories as far as people how they started a business or whatever, that kind of stuff. So yeah. that's a big net, right? So at some point it started feeding me stuff about China, like it's something like just business in China and manufacturers and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, so what they got these things they call capsule homes, and so they probably about 400. The biggest they get probably about 400 square feet. But they just like really nice, you know what I'm saying? And so the reason I'm bringing it up, because the container homes, they try to do the exact same thing. Or what I don't know what the cost is to do one. I guess it depends on how extravagant you go with it. But they like build them out and stuff and ship it to you and all this stuff. It just is some amazing stuff with central heating. It's just ridiculous, man.
So what do you have to do? Buy some land and just put it on or something? Or?
You can do all kind of stuff, Jordan. Like you can buy some land, rent some land, just all kind of stuff. It when something is that small, it just opens up a whole bunch of possibilities. Just a whole bunch of possibilities. Like you have all these vacant lots, and we'll just say in areas where it wouldn't make sense to do a new construction. If you can get the city to approve a structure like that, that would be a tremendous way to provide housing for people, right? Mm-hmm. Just because of how fast they can produce them and at what price point. Because I think you can get them before the tariffs, of course. you can get one fully decked out for about between 50 to 70 grand, right? And it's nice, especially for like a couple. It wouldn't be for no family, but for a couple for sure, or whatever, or one person, obviously.
Gemini Ways is saying most Americans don't go past page 1 on any given Google search. That's a tragedy.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. Shaking it with pepper. Learned behavior never is challenged. They're speaking on what you were talking about earlier. Enthusiastic Fox. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. And my mother was so amazed watching me use my laptop when she was alive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's...
And she said, "You Imperial One is saying you came out swinging this morning."
That on my mind.
But yeah, Shazam, that's the thing. Exposure is everything, because that YouTube channel, I'm just thinking about the one that you exposed me to, which is it's Million. What's the two guys?
My First Million.
My First Million, because that just opens up my mind when I watch those videos that they do, and people have started businesses in just crazy. But exposure is everything. Google is the truth. And Craig Davis said, "Hello, guys. Mr. Craig here in need of the contract for mobile text message. It's the same one, right? Just different formats."
Mobile text messages.
Contract. Does he mean a script?
Oh, he's talking about multiple things in it.
What to say in a text message? That's what he's talking about. Hey, Flip, did you get that property out there off Arabia? The lady won $5 grand.
Yeah, I saw it. I couldn't pull up any no Google image of it. I know where it is though.
There's no. She's saying that the property is pretty much a tear down, and the land is really what it is. I mean, but a lot of times sellers like the vision to see something. They just like,
Yeah, they think it's a tear down, but no, I definitely don't go by that. Yeah, it's actually close to where Mr. Johnson's deal is located.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Check it out. Check it out.
Not in that same neighborhood, but it's just in that general area.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Check it out. See what's up with it. She's very motivated. Nobody haven't lived in a property for 11 years, so she's like, and she lives in Texas, so she's not going back.
Yeah.
She just like, hey, I've been paying the taxes on it. I'm in no rush, but I'll take $5 grand for it. So let me know what's up. Because she's like, some company gave her a verbal fortified, but they haven't done nothing, put nothing on paper. So I'm like, hey, give me a shot at it. So take a look at it, see if it's worth it. If it's worth it, let's get it locked up.
Okay. I'll my intent is to go. I guess I'll go out there this afternoon to Mr. Well, you know what? He gonna be in the thing, ain't he? He gonna be going.
Dallas.
They're gonna be doing that. So I'll wait till tomorrow then. And I'll check that out then too. So.
Okay.
Soul Soldier is saying, "Let's go. This land game about to get crazy." And Karen S has said, "What is the website for your AI site?"
POF. Oh, just go to just text POF to 205-964-5243.
Tammy Bass, it says, "Great day all." And Lamar McMorris, "What of God's Omaha in this thing?"
Dude, yesterday for Easter, I made some. If you're Jamaican, you'll know what it is. I made some gunga rice. Gunga rice with some oxtail. Man, that thing was so good. So good.
Oxtails.
Yeah.
I went home and I had I told you about the Jamaican lady that helps my mom or whatever get around the store. Well, just you do a lot of stuff there. But anyway, she cooked that for me this weekend. I told, man, the oxtail is expensive. I told her,
oxtail is crazy.
Yeah, I gave her $100 just for the oxtail.
Yeah.
And 50 for the other stuff she bought. But she might. Anyway, we had oxtail this weekend. So.
Oh, that's what's up. Yeah, oxtail like what, $10 a pound, somewhere around there.
Now, yeah, she said $10 a pound. Up here, they were $13 a pound.
Okay.
But where she bought them down back home, which is 3 hours away, they were $10 a pound.
Gemini always wants to know on last Thursday's live, you mentioned you don't like steak, and she wants to know why. Nothing like a T-bone steak on the grill.
I didn't say I really didn't like it. It ain't gonna be, I'll eat it, but it ain't gonna be nothing I'm gonna pay for. It's just one of those things. I don't know how that sounds weird, but like if somebody was cooking it, they had some steak, rice, whatever, however they want to prepare it, I would probably eat it because I have to pay for it.
What you said, you're not gonna go out to a restaurant and spend $300 on steak.
Oh my God. No, not for, you know what? I'm sitting up here saying that. Not for me, right? Because I'm not, it's going to be, I'm not for me. Like, I just said that, but I don't know how much it costs. But anyway, the Hell's Kitchen dude, right?
Yeah. Chef Ramsay.
Yeah,
Chef
so in Las Vegas, they got a restaurant out there, right?
Yeah, I went there.
Yeah.
Oh, you went? Okay.
And so what they call the steak that's in this round?
The sirloin, the filet, the
bistro,
filet mignon,
filet mignon steak.
It's called. Start with a B.
With a B.
No.
The way they prepare it, but
is they cut it like I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, it said it's round. It's just round.
Yeah, but they cut it. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know the name of it. Somebody in the chat probably knows though.
But anyway, so the individual that was with me, I paid for that. I didn't even eat. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, I didn't even.
You wasn't hungry.
I didn't even see anything on the menu I wanted. Right?
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Now let me flip that. If I wouldn't have been paying for it, I would have found something to eat.
Okay, I see.
You know what? I take that, but been twice. I ate a salad the first time, second time I didn't eat anything. It's one of the first, either the first time I ate it and the second time I ate a salad. It's one of those.
But that must have been an amazing conversation that you had in that restaurant.
What?
For you not to eat and just sit there and enjoy yourself without.
Well, it's somebody I know really well, so we're just in there chilling, watching them enjoy themselves, so it ain't no big deal, so. But my point is, you ask about a 300. I wouldn't do that for myself because I don't like steak like that, right? Yeah. I just don't. It's too. Oh, she asked why. I know this is gonna sound ridiculous. It's too meaty.
No, it doesn't sound ridiculous to me because I've started liking quesadillas, but I don't like those thick ones. I like the thin ones. You know what I'm saying? With all that meat. Yeah. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah, it's just too meaty. It's just like certain types of fish, like I don't like grouper because it's too meaty.
It's so thick.
Now let me back up again. If that's the only option and I don't have to pay for it, I'll eat it or whatever. But if I gotta pay for it, I'm not gonna eat it. If I got another option.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I like with chicken breast, it's too meaty, right? I like
like chicken breast.
No, I prefer the wing, leg, and thigh. But the breast, if it's another option, I'm gonna do the other options. But if I don't have to pay for it and that's the only option, I'll eat it. I'm just telling you, I'm just weird like that, because that's considered weird. But things I want to pay for, I wouldn't like. I'm not a big macaroni and cheese eater. But
so let's flip it. What would you spend money
on? If it's the only option and I don't have to pay for it,
what would you spend money on? What do you enjoy?
Things that I just take my normal routine throughout the week. I go to this one place right down so I can literally walk from my house from here. It's called Tzatziki's, and I'm gonna get.
Oh, you like tzatziki? Okay.
I'm gonna get what they call it? God dog it. A tilapia.
A gyro.
It's called oh my God, I order it every day. It's either gonna be salmon or tilapia, something like that. And I'd have them to do just all grilled vegetables and add shrimp, cup of rice, and chop it all up. Because what I'm trying to do is get a large portion of protein with a little carb with the rice and a good selection. I mean, a good portion of vegetables. That's ideal. I may do that 3 times a week. You know what I'm saying? Minimum.
I was just asking because we got Tzatziki's in Memphis and I've never gone.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
Never gone. So that's interesting that you told me that because
I like Greek. I like Greek the Greek flavor stuff. You know what I'm saying? I like that tangy, lemony, whatever it is. I really like that. You know, so.
Maquilla Penny. Hi everyone. I'm Douglasville, Georgia. Where can I find a commercial real estate contract?
Well, technically, you know, that's just a Google search away in reality, or a Chat GBT, a Gemini, or what else out there, Grok, Claude, you know, one of those AI agents, LLMs or whatever they call it, they'll create one for you or whatever. But you have to be careful in that commercial world because, you have different people just throw the word commercial real estate around. You know, there are different types of commercial real estate, right? And that matters whenever you're doing the paperwork and you're dealing with more sophisticated investors and owners / investors in most cases, and you just have to be careful. I ain't saying don't do it and just use a generic whatever, but those will be your sources for depending on what type of commercial real estate you're targeting, whether it's hotel, motel, the multifamily, self-storage, office building, medical office, retail strip, single tenant building, mobile home park, assisted living. You know, you got different types. So the verbiage is going to be different on them.
All right. And Lionel Jackson is checking in from Baltimore. Shaking up with Pepper. On my laptop, the green arrow on Zillow that saves your selections is gone. What's the other states sites that we could use? Redfin and what other two?
You said the green arrow. I'm not sure what she means. What?
The Zumps, you know, the green arrow when you add properties. I guess it's
the plus one.
That's the plus sign. When she says gone, you know, like, you know, I would have to know what that, you know, I couldn't. It's hard to troubleshoot that without knowing what stage of what she's doing, because some of it's just simply just resetting the filters and selecting a property and it appears. So I would have to know what she's doing. You just want to make sure you go back and watch any of the videos, because normally I try to go through that every time or whatever I do something or whatever to troubleshoot what you got going on. Without seeing your screen, it's just hard for me to tell you why you're not being able to see it.
And Craig Davis, he followed up. He said he's trying to figure out how to get the contract via text. I think that's what he's saying.
Oh, just text the word contract to 205-964-5243.
All right. But who am I? Welcome back to the live Chevy. Just light up when talking about anything Jamaican. Now that's pride.
Oh man. Yeah.
Come on.
Love that Jamaican. It's too hard to digest as well. I don't know if she's talking about the rice. She's talking steak. Yeah, it stays in your system 3 days. Yeah. That's true. Yeah, it takes 3 to 4 days. And Gemini Way says she would never pay $300 for a steak, but she loves a T-bone, and I understand too meaty, love bone-in chicken. Yeah, I think everybody kind of understands that meaty thing.
Steaks cost more than that, depending on what they call it, a ragu. It costs a couple grand, $3-4 grand.
There's some places out there in Texas like that. Soul Soldier 70. What should a land split offer to an inquiring agent look like? If they say, maybe send me specifics of the.
I'll show you what I've been sending real quick. Let me pull up one. Let's see here. Share, present, share. Let's see. So here's one right here. So you don't have to do it this way, but I used the land portal to create this little diagram on the area that I'm going to target. I think the total is 79 acres. And I said 4.19 of that, right? And then I put the agent's commission here, offered 100 grand, $1,000 earnest money. Same thing, similar to the Zomps deal, but I extended the close of escrow out 90 days and 60 business days on due diligence, which is about going to be the 90 days. And then I put in here why the due diligence period is needed to conduct a boundary and access review, confirm zoning and land permissions, perform soil or perk tests if needed, assess access to utilities and road frontage, determine feasibility of subdividing if applicable, verify the title and legal access to the portions being purchased, inspect topography and floodplain issues. Yeah, so there you go.
All right. Gemini always said, love Greek Mediterranean. I can't say that word for some words. It's good too. Now I'm hungry. Charlotte P. found a house for sale. The owner is in foreclosure and has filed bankruptcy. The realtor says the owner still has a right to sell the property. Is that true?
Chevy.
I mean,
Yeah, how does the bankruptcy clouded, Chevy? You dealt with many of those? Seem like it holds things up or it limits you. What
the
bankrupt if they tied it like the mortgage payments and stuff in the bankruptcy?
No, I mean, I'm trying to think when it comes to bankruptcy. Like I'll do deals where I'll do subject twos and I'll take over. But I've yet to do a deal where it's in bankruptcy and it closed. I'm just trying to think. I don't think I've done anything where there's bankruptcy and it's closing.
Yeah,
I'll look more into
and I would think it's depending on the area whether they could sell it or not. Maybe as far as the laws in that area. I don't know.
I gotta look.
Yeah, I'm thinking I've never done one with a bankruptcy either.
I gotta look into
anything
that.
I've tried has always failed over the years.
You mean when they were in bankruptcy?
When they had the mortgage was tied to the bankruptcy. Yeah. Well, I guess we don't know.
Yeah, I'll ask my attorney.
All right, Maquilla Penny, commercial land is what I'm interested in. This is the one that was asking about the contract, the commercial.
Yeah, that's a different ball game. I don't even. Well, let me just say this: if you're going to target commercial land, you're going to have to make some good relationship with some commercial brokers that do land to get a value on it. Because the tools that I have available, in most cases, they're evaluated based on everything but commercial. Let me just say that.
All right. And Shaking It Up with Pepper is saying that I did all of that, even had a laptop sweep.
I don't, but I'm saying like, or number one, are you using Google Chrome? Again, it's just hard for me to just even tell what your issue is without seeing the issue, right? I don't know how she could possibly share her screen or whatever. I don't know if she could come on. If you come on the live and let me set it up real quick. We could try to troubleshoot you. Let me see. Yeah, just text the word Gator, Gator, 205-964-5243. And we can see what's going on.
Oh. Day Dart said, hello, guys. So good to see you all. It's good to be alive and glad you're here joining us. Gemini Always is saying, well, she was talking to Shake It Up with Pepper. Lincoln, good morning, fellas, from Houston TX. And Karen S is saying, different bankruptcies, chapter 7 doesn't include the house.
Yeah, chapter 7 and 13.
All right. And Charlotte P is asking, she has a property to comp. She said, what would you offer for this land? Oh, I guess land, 9335 Nickel Street. This is in Bellflower, Cali.
California.
California is where you want to be. So I loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Moving stars.
Black gold.
Black gold, yeah. What's the address?
It is 9335 Nichols Street, number 4.
Let me Google it first. 9335
Nichols, NICHOLS. Yeah, right there.
Roll it up to that and move to Beverly. Well, they already have it for sale. At $649.9. What was her question?
What would you offer for this land?
Okay. Now again, you do know this is listed, right? But I'll answer the question though. I'll try my best to answer it. So it looks like it's an infill lot, and city of Los Angeles is single family. And loaded up and moved to Beverly. All right, so we got some here. Let's see. Number 4. I'm assuming we're on the right one. Let's see what this is. Let's see. Please. That same owner. Crown Pillar.
Yeah, she's saying yes. I guess she's saying she does realize that it's listed.
Crown Pillar. Let me see. So Lawrence Hamilton. Nickel Street. Okay, here it is right here. So it's this one right here. All right. This is showing, so it's 0.2 acres. Let's see here. See how much activity we have in here. It's gonna be a little tricky too. So let's scroll down. So roll and move to Beverly. All right. Man, this went too small. Let me see. So 0 point. Let me see, 0.15. Let me get rid of some of that stuff. Okay, so just looking at what's in that general area, so it's not closer than it needs to be, but looks like it's, a retail value would be in the 400s, right? So they're asking, where was it? So they're asking the 649.9 there for that 10,000 square foot lot, 0.20 basically. I would want to probably be at 300, just to answer your question. Definitely wouldn't be this number. So I want to be at 300 based on what I'm looking at here and other stuff selling for in the 4s. I guess you could go up to 350 or so, somewhere in there, maybe even 400 if you want to get that close. I wouldn't normally be at where other stuff is selling. I would want to be under that number. So I would probably want to be at 300, maybe 350, try to sell for 390, somewhere in there. So, but again, just understand that this property is already listed. So again, land is not like houses. It's not going to have ready-made buyers for it now. let me just say this now. Then it is also listed in the sense that, builders in that market, which is Los Angeles, which is vast. If it was a deal, it would already have been taken down, right? Because it's just so hard to buy space out there to build on, or what compared to other parts of the country. Just so many people just condensed in it's a wide area, but it's just millions of people in just a small area or whatever, especially within the inner city part of it. So it wouldn't be anything I would target, but to answer your question, 300 or so.
All righty. And I'm thinking that's the Trail Rose. Welcome. My first time seeing you here. What closing strategy works best in 2025? And Charlotte said, thanks. I guess it depends on what you're doing.
I'm waiting on shit.
Oh.
I got a look on my face like,
I guess you're asking, the question is, it's as simple as he making it is.
I'm trying to understand. Flip, you could go, man, because I'm trying to understand what he means.
Well, yeah, I'm just gonna keep it as simple as it sounds. When you say the closing strategies is not like a trick has to be created or anything. I don't know what. The only thing we know is either if you're talking about wholesaling, either a sign or double close. I don't know if that's a direct question. It appears to be anyway. It's a sign or double close. So I don't know what you mean by that. And hopefully that's the answer. If not, if you could go deeper on your question on what you mean.
You have to go deeper on what you mean by that, man.
Yeah. And it is the Trail Rose.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we shouldn't assume that you even know what I just said, a sign or double close.
So you just
assignment is an assignment of contract. You get a contract with a seller, you assign it over to a buyer, boom, you get paid the difference, right? To a buyer at a higher price. A double close is basically a real estate a transaction is completed through what they call a closing. So you'll close with the seller at a lower price and close the buyer at a higher price. So you'll purchase it and the buyer buys it from you. That's a double close. You get the difference. So those are the two options. I'm not sure if that's answered your question or not. If you can go deeper on the question, if we did.
You gotta elaborate on that one for me.
Yes, sir.
I'm following your lead, man. I don't even answer a question unless I know. I'll just follow your lead.
Oh yeah, I don't answer them either unless I know. I have no problem telling people I don't know. Hey, we were talking about the land a moment ago. That ain't my lane. So,
Chris Cotton, welcome to the live. My first time seeing you here. A motivated seller, property left to her in a will. Dad's name still on the mortgage. No probate process started, already in pre-foreclosure. Can this situation be helped?
Yes, can be helped. You would need to get in touch. Motivated seller, property left to her in will. Dad's name still on the mortgage. Yeah. So what you do is you'll get the seller to go to the courthouse to petition to open up a succession probate. And petition that they're the only one that's they have the will, so that's all they really need. And as long as they're selling it, what will happen is the title company will reach out to the mortgage company to get a payoff and everything like that and facilitate everything. But first, he does need to start the probate process and get a judgment of possession turned over that's based on the will itself. You definitely need to get in touch with the dad though as well. So not sure if that's something that, you want to do, but that's a part of the process also. And then it also depends on what name is on the deed as well. Because there might be names on the mortgage, but there is no name on the deed. So that's something you got to keep in mind as well.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Chris, because I thought he was saying that her dad passed away.
Oh, I wasn't. Okay, yeah. So you just need to go and start so you're good. You got the will, so you just need to go and start the succession process.
So the follow-up was, open up a succession at the
Yes.
courthouse and get a judgment of possession.
Yes, and you have the will. You have the will, so you're in good hands. As long as you have a will, you're good to go.
Is Chris new or he's been?
Yeah, that's my first time seeing him.
Okay. Thanks, Chris. Yeah.
Welcome to the live, Chris.
Mm-hmm.
But
And
those are pretty simple, especially when there's a will. There's paper trail, something that's in place. You good to go. All you got. I mean, even if that person wants to sell the house, depends on how much the house is being sold for. There is the title company can do the succession paperwork for you, depending on how much you guys are selling the house for. So there's small claim succession, and then there's regular succession. So in the state of Louisiana, under 100,000, it's a small claim succession, meaning the title company can facilitate everything. But if it's more than 100,000 and there's more stuff to break up, then you definitely need to go through the courts and get a judgment of possession. It's going to cost you less money to go through the court, though, and it's going to be faster. So yeah.
Charlotte P wants to know: is this lot good to make an offer?
You see how confident that was. Oh man, yeah, we do those all the time. So yeah, those are simple. As long as you have a will in place, there's a track record. You good.
Oh yeah, that's what you want, that wheel.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think they had one. I know we wrote up one. Was it recorded?
So my question about it is: does the will slow down the process of the foreclosure?
No, will speed up the process.
Speed up the process.
Because you don't gotta. There's nobody to contest. It's left in the will.
Mm-hmm.
So nobody can come and say, "Oh no, that was my daddy and he left it to me," and all. Nah, ain't none of that.
Hey, might have been your daddy, but he put his will in place for
yeah.
Hey,
Hell, got me on it though.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Got a girlfriend on it. All right. What's the address?
It's 388 Hampshire Drive.
Spell it.
Hampshire Drive. Hampshire. Quail Valley, California.
Who?
Quail Valley, California. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Chris saying it's an uncontested will. I don't know if that makes a difference, but
as long as there's a will, you good.
Yeah.
You just need to start the succession process. So open up probate, and we get to go.
Mm-hmm. Did I get all of that? Yeah. I'm trying to find it. Let me see. Let's look down here. So lot lines. Okay. That's not the same one. Do 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 do. Okay. So it's behind this address, it appears. Let me see if I can find it that way. Because I couldn't, it didn't pull up anything like that. Okay. I don't show anything back there. Hampshire. in the description. Nice piece of mostly flat land, lamp post at corner of Hampshire and Connecticut. Utilities near nice. Check city planning department more details. Title, escrow, and purchase price. It's been for sale for a couple of years, almost. I don't see where it is though. Let's see. Let's do it this way. Yeah, it's not. I can't find it. I don't see a parcel ID on it. That's when you would have to reach out to the agent to get a parcel ID on this. I don't see it anywhere. So, yeah, I can't find it. Not with the tools that I have. It's not clear where it's located. Yeah, you'd have to reach out to the agent on it. But we know 52,000 ain't the price.
Gotta be cheaper than that.
Mm-hmm.
Soldier 70 says, how do you determine how much land you want to target on a land split offer than the makeup of the land?
Well, like the example that I showed you, I did a little research to see what was a good amount of activity as far as sold amounts of land. And so I saw between 3 to 5 acres, there was a good amount of activity. And then from there, I can look and see. I'll just measure it out. I didn't know it was going to be that. I don't know until I do. And then I'm really targeting like the best piece of road frontage in most cases. As far as my thoughts on the best piece of road frontage, and so I'm trying to capture as much of that as possible based on how much activity is on a particular range. Like I said, between 3 to 5. And in that situation, sometimes it's quite a bit bigger or whatever. But in that situation, that's what I did there. So to answer your question.
Shazam, what do you all think about this house? This is in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Sure.
Oh, keep that up. Let me see.
North Carolina.
New tab. Share. Okay, listed. $409. Okay, favorite features open floor plan with lots of windows, fence, backyard. Been on the market for 38 days. Let's see of the history itself. Okay, so was listed 10K price cut. Let's look at the pictures. I mean, this is well maintained.
Mm-hmm.
Very well maintained. So, very, very well maintained. I mean, it's been on the market for 38 days and not that many views, so it's definitely overpriced for sure. So, I mean, take a shot, make an offer. We're talking like 200.
What is it, 409, 410?
Yeah.
But they did 60%, so about 250.
Let's see what buyers are doing though. Let's do that. Let's see what's up. What buyers are doing. So buyers. My screen is up?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay. It is.
Yeah, so a lot of buy and hold. So right where we say we need to be at. around what was that, 250?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we'll probably need to be around like 240 for it to make sense. We could move it back at 250 for sure.
Interesting. Not a lot of flippers in there, huh?
Nah, all buying holes. So yeah.
Where is it? In North Carolina.
I mean, I would recommend still just seeing what's going on. And offers are free, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. K.R. Anderson question: with the proof of funds letter that the company offer, is it possible to use the letter on every offer when dealing with a realtor, or when the realtor only asks for it? Just a thought.
I mean, as far as proof of funds, it all depends on who you're dealing with and what y'all talking about. A lot of times, I mean, especially on like small deals like 35,000, 80,000, when a realtor is like, oh, I need proof of funds, like, all right. Those type of stuff is like, dude, you ain't even getting no offers. What you mean you need proof of funds? So, I mean, but not all realtors are created equally. So yeah, but you could definitely use a proof of fund letter. Typically, when you fill in our proof of fund letter, it have it to where you have to input like a property address, and that's how they like, hey, look, you have proof that you could be able to buy XYZ property for this amount of money. So that's typically how proof of fund letter works. So it just all depends, man.
So it doesn't on every. All right.
So you would have to update it and change the address on it, if that makes sense.
Shaking it up with Pepper is saying, I removed Zumps, then started the process over, still nothing. And she's responding to Gemini Ways, there's still no red indicator.
Yeah, you can come on, text Gator. We'll try to troubleshoot you.
Come on the live. Lavetta Hammond, has anyone on the live other than the host gotten a deal using the KISS method yet? This is a general question to the chat.
Better.
I think they're going back and forth. I think Gemini Ways is technical support. She's going back and forth about the zone. So
Gemini Ways tech support.
Either come on the live or we'll get it figured out. We'll get it figured out either way. And Shazam said thanks. K.R. Anderson just said cool. And Soul Soldier has a follow-up question. If sale of part of the land is agreed upon, will a split and flip lessen the amount a seller is asking for the price of their house?
Yeah, at that point they're gonna have to. I don't have to, but I don't know. That's gonna be up to them. More than likely, they probably will reduce, or they've gotten some of the money already. But I don't know. It's gonna probably be a hit and miss.
And someone not someone, Zep the One is stating on Instagram, I just say I'm an investor and don't work for a company. I guess when they ask for a POF. I don't know, but he's responding to something. All right. And Shaking It Up with Pepper wants to know where to text to get on the live.
Oh, the phone number 205-964-5243. Text the word Gator.
Right. You can do the topic. We an hour in, actually.
Okay, yeah, we can do that.
Wait, we're an hour in?
Mm-hmm.
We in, bro. Time flies.
Don't be a quitter. I think I spelled it right. So today's topic, this is why most wholesalers quit. I can only go by thousands of people I've talked to over the years. I've been putting out this content since 2008. So what that is, going on 17 years. And so in some form of fashion, I've talked to a lot of people. And probably there are a lot of reasons. I'll just go through some of the other ones. They never, one of the reasons is people They really never take the real time out to educate themselves on it. They hear about it. It's a simple process. It's simple probably as you understand it initially, and they just jump right into it and they miss a few details, right? Don't work out. Expectations. And a student of mine made me look at my initial start. My story is my story, but in reality, even though I closed the deal in my first 30 days, it shouldn't even count in the sense that I didn't know what I was doing. It was sheer luck or whatever, because I put out some signs. I had to take action. I guess that ain't the luck part of it. I did have to at least take action, right? So, and the first 2 calls were deals. One of them blew up in my face, a lease option. Even though I had the money in my hand, I had to give it back $2 or $5 grand. And the other one closed. It was a wholesale deal, $2,500. But the question, the next layer is that was in March so I started in February, early February put the signs out early February of 2003, closed the deal early March of 2003, like 4th or 5th or something like that of March. I didn't do another deal until June. That's probably the real evaluation on when I closed my first deal, which now we're talking 4 months, approaching 5 months, right? And so expectations. And I know, you're grinding on something. And that's just but with any business though, but most people don't even go into a profit stage of their process for a couple of years. Not every business, but a lot of businesses, like especially start talking about open restaurants and all that kind of stuff, And so expectations is probably it's up there as far as someone giving up on it or whatever, having the right expectations on what to think. I'm on money being made and how fast you're going to make your money and what it's going to take, right? The level of effort is another thing. I think just because you're learning don't mean you're doing. You obviously got to have a certain level of knowledge to do it, but at some point action has to be taken. Like, and people learn different ways, and the way I teach things it's not going to fit everyone, but there are tons of other options out there. And so when I hear people say they've been, studying it for 2 years, 3 years, and hadn't took any action, that's just nothing I can wrap my mind around. I can literally go to try to learn something in a couple of days, and I'll be taking action the third day. And depending on what it is, it might be one day and taking action the next day or even the same day. I just can't wrap my mind around saying you're studying something for 2 years and hadn't done anything or whatever. Not saying that's bad or whatever. I just can't. All right. That's another thing. But number one is, and that's part of how we came up with the KISS method, is you don't ever get this part. Is that, and I was listening to a guy, he was talking, he's made his money through buying a lot of multifamily. And the guy that was interviewing him, he was like, well, how does someone get started? Don't they need a lot of money? He said, no, in reality, you don't need any money. If you can find, he named some type of property like this, I'll buy it. And there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people out there like me. If you can find an opportunity like this, and the reason you don't need money is that you've mastered on identifying what's a great real estate deal, whether that's houses, whether that's land, whether that's apartment buildings, self-storage, multifamily, hotel, motel, whatever. You understand what makes a great deal. And I think that's the number one reason why most people quit, because they'll get frustrated out of the business because they never understood the importance of what makes a great deal and how to identify it. Now, in order to come across your portion of the great deal universe, is that you got to be talking to enough people, man. And I don't know how much more is stress than that. Like I said, when I started, me talking to the first 2 people, that's total luck. No way, I had no idea what I was doing. Listening to Ron LeGrand, wholesaling attracted me because of how fast it is and you need to know money. Lease options attracted me because it was fast. You needed no money. Bandit signs attracted to me because I'm an introvert. And if I knew if I had to cold call, which I don't even know if he talked about that in that, but if I had to cold call, y'all wouldn't be watching me right now, probably, more than likely. Because I knew I wouldn't have kept it up just knowing me as a person. But what I do know now that I didn't know then is things that you can't do or not good at, right? You can bring in someone else that is either on a partnership or if you have the resources to pay them to do those things that, that produces results. But I think number one is people don't get the part of they don't know how to recognize what makes a great deal or not. If you get that part, like you literally don't ever have to be broke in this world if you understand how to identify a great real estate deal. That's the name of the game. That's why no number is too big for me to look at a deal if, regardless I have the resources or not, if I actually know it's a great deal or not. And let me just say this: the lady Tammy that did the interview, not the interview, but where she's negotiating the motel deal. We're gonna probably record a video this week. Let me see. Sometime this week, I'll probably try to have it up over the weekend or whatever. But she mainly wholesales commercial. She'll wholesale anything, but mainly it's commercial. And she's just done an amazing job. She's a talker, so it should be really entertaining, very educational on how she goes about it or whatever. But it all just starts with just knowing if you have a great deal or not. Being able to recognize that. For some people, I know that's a little bit more difficult depending on the property type that we're talking about or whatever. But all the resources out there to make that happen or whatever. Just putting in the work. And a lot of it is just looking at enough properties and getting a lot of no's on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. I look at a lot of real estate, especially here more recently, just a lot of it, man. And even with land, it just only has made me gotten better. I had to have a resource to tell me, no, this is not a great deal or not, but you don't keep saying the same things over, you know what I'm saying? Like this time they said, this is why it's not great. So that means it's going to probably be that again. Anyway, but yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. You guys' thoughts?
Lack of action and education for sure. But this going back to what's that, 7-8 years ago? Only thing I remember is just you was like, man, what was that, 2018? You was just like, hey man, I could talk till I'm blue in the face, but if you ain't taking action, none of this matters. And I remember I put out bandit signs and I didn't know what I was doing at all, but I was taking action. Mm-hmm. And as you take action, you start learning more. The more you mess up, the more you learn because you don't make the same mistake twice.
Not to cut you off. Say that again. The mess up part. The more you
mess up, the more you learn.
Yeah. See, people, they want it to be perfect.
Yeah. And they
want to be perfect. They won't do anything.
Yeah.
You could always stay in that right there. Don't ever do anything.
Yeah.
You were laughing when that was, but what there was some deal you did and the lady was like, oh no, why did I even agree to that? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
We still make mistakes to this day. You know what I'm saying? Mistakes are the mistakes are the best lessons. More value than anything that I could teach you. The great thing about so you ask yourself, can I go to jail for this mistake? Nope. Now, some people say, well, I don't want to get sued. You can't prevent people from suing you, and you're totally right in the law. Totally right. You can't prevent that because you're gonna always have lawyers. If someone is willing to spend the money, you can always have a lawyer to take their money, even though it's a frivolous lawsuit. We're seeing that played out in the media right now, some celebrity stuff. You can always have that, right? Mm-hmm. If you're afraid of that, don't ever get into any type of business because you're never going to be exempt from that. You think Walmart's sitting around worried about the people that are trying to sue them? You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them. I got a relative right now trying to sue them. You know what I'm saying? and they give the community hell. You know what I'm saying? So hey, they don't get that come with that's business, but it ain't for everybody. If that bothers you, just keep clocking in. That's fine. That's what makes the world go round. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's fine, or whatever. But go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, man. I just know, like, I've seen a lot of people come and go into business, and a lot of times what it is just lack of knowledge, or they overthink it. In another business, they used to say analysis leads to paralysis. So you're analyzing every and any little thing instead
we
of.
See you, Charlene. We see you.
Yeah, we see you. Yeah, she's like,
we see you.
So taking action is the biggest thing. I had a guy that was just doing this thing for a year straight, no deals, but he kept on going, and he was able to turn around where the following year he made $1 million wholesaling.
Nice.
1 year he didn't. He was just taking action, massive actions. I'm talking about vision boards, calling sellers, cold calling, taking notes, and before you know it, man,
you think? See, we need to get somebody like that that put a year in. We need to get somebody like that on the thing.
Yeah.
Will he do it? First of all, will he do it? A lot of people don't like to do it. See, a lot of people. Like a lot of, I would be one. See, I wouldn't let nobody interview me if I was like learn from somebody. That just wouldn't be nothing I would want to do. I know it sounds weird because I'm doing it now, but that just wouldn't be nothing I want to do. If I wasn't, see, the only reason this exists outside of my knowledge of what we're doing is because I like the internet and it's just a hobby for me. So it just turns into some money at the same time, meet people and make some whatever. But other than that, just me as a person, and you say, "No, man, I'm good. I really appreciate what you did for me." Blah blah blah. I probably wouldn't do it. Just me. So I get it.
I mean, it's been a couple of years now, but I'll see what's up. He done made his millions, did his thing, growing
Yeah.
But I holler at him to see what's good.
Okay.
He was more open to taking calls when he was just learning and getting the information.
Yeah.
I don't know about now though.
Yeah.
I don't know, bro.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, but I mean, it is what it is. We'll see what's up though. That's still my guy.
Let's add a girl here. Hey,
shaking up with Pepper.
That's me.
Hey, what's happening?
A little frustrated.
All right, so let's do this. So at the bottom of your screen, you should see where it says present.
At the bottom.
You're on your phone?
Yeah.
Why didn't you log on? You need to log on with your laptop, not your phone.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to come out of this and then go with well, golly. I guess you just tapped on it with your phone. You need to let me see how I get it to you. I need to be able to email you the link so you can go to it, unless you know how to forward the link to your email and then access it through your laptop. She can hear us.
I think she disappeared, man.
You there, shaking? I don't want to. You want to take her off?
Yeah, we'll remove it right quick. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but going back to what Chevy said real quick, the fear of making mistakes is a huge one too. They think it has to be perfect for this to work. You can make a ton of mistakes and still end up with a 5-figure payday, like a ton of them.
But that's a very good point that y'all are making, as far as, the mistakes are something that you want because it helps you to adjust and learn the business, because I think a lot of people feel like that. It's like you run into this challenge and it's like, should I do something else? So yeah, but you need to get past that. You need to get past that. Yeah.
I feel like I am, because I feel like I have to put out fires on a daily basis. Like I just feel like I'm a problem solver. Like you almost have to be to, you know what I'm saying? Like you got to be able to solve problems. So like they called me, just like the relative called me yesterday about that with the mobile home thing. I'm like, huh? I'm like, number one, you didn't have to call me. You don't need my approval about nothing. You know what I'm saying? The right thing to do is this. He said, that's what I thought, blah, blah. But I'm saying, but as far as how that should happen, if you all can't find the title to the mobile home, then you can request from the state a replacement. But a lot of time, if it's too old, from my understanding, I may be wrong on this, in the state of Alabama, they said, oh, no, we don't do that. And once it's past this age right here, and I think it's an 80-something mobile home or whatever. So you just write up a bill of sale and it's theirs now or whatever. So
I got another one. Comparing yourself to other people.
Yeah.
You want that person's success, but you don't know what that person had to go to get to where they at. And you want that instant gratification, that instant result. And a lot of times people short themselves because they feel like they're not good enough. Or there was this thing where there was this people looking at paychecks, other people's paychecks, like, oh, I need a check like that. But understanding that in this game, there was a lot of groundwork, just a lot of tenacity that you have to really be able to really hit the ground running, man, and be successful in this business. You can't compare yourself to nobody else, man. You got to create your own lane.
Like, yeah, a lot of times they may have had some immediate success, but damn, they may have had who knows what other failures in other businesses, where they went bankrupt a couple of times and stuff like that, just to even build up those calluses to be able to take what is coming, down the road. So you just never know what someone else's story is or whatever. This young lady told me, like, I just need to know it's possible, Mr. Ty. So it's possible. That's all I need to know is it's possible. Oh, whatever. Yeah, I'm no smarter than you are, and that's for sure. And but yeah, man, it just.
I think not Gemini always, but shaking it up with Pepper, I think is a disconnect because what you're doing, shaking it up, not in the chat, but the link that you got from the text message, put it on your copy and paste it to your computer, then click the link.
Yeah, she might not know how to do that though. You're assuming she know how to do that.
Yeah, I am.
I can email you the link, but I would need an email address because what happened, it went to her phone. That's why she was on her phone. See, we want to be able to see your laptop screen. That's what I'm trying to set you up for, so we could try to troubleshoot what you got going on. Because I know it's probably going to help some other people also. Yeah, so
So give us an email address. And Tyler will send you an email. Then you click on that link in the email, and you'll be good to go.
Yeah.
I got another one.
Go ahead. This is good stuff.
Let her rip.
Listening to broke people.
Oh, I was getting there. I was getting to that, but I lost my train of thought. Let me ask you this, Chevy. You probably can't even imagine it, because this is some people's situation, and your situation is your situation. Now, you have a very supportive wife. Right.
Yes. Very.
Okay.
Very.
All right. So, but assume it was the opposite, right? You know what I'm saying? So I know you just try to think through. I know it's tough that this ain't gonna work, because you're gonna have that. Some people in relationships like that. This ain't gonna work. You always trying to do some scam or something, and they taking your money, and we can't do this and that. Imagine if you had to deal with that now. So how would you handle that, Mr. Chevo Green?
I left her and got married to somebody.
That's a whole
Wait a minute. Let me give him some more context. Hey, wait a minute, Tori. Let me give him some more context since he's being smart. Now, what my girl at? When the one look just like Tam, where she at today?
Which there she in school. Hey,
look here. I'm talking about the little one.
She's somewhere.
Somewhere. Look here. You got her, then you got the one in school. Now wait a minute now.
Now there's more. There's more that comes.
Right, we ain't talking about dating, we talking about what you got going down now. You know what I'm
saying? I mean, in that situation, man, it's you now it's got to be deeper than this. You have to now take on something at a different level, like whether that's prayer, whether that's, just good, coming to an agreement, man. You have to get your spouse to come into an agreement with you for both of y'all to thrive, and you have to sit down and have those critical conversations. I remember early in our before we had kids, I had a conversation with my wife. I was like, "You trust me?" She was like, "Yeah, I trust you." Why? I was like, "Because I'm getting ready to do some shit." I just want you to trust me because I'm getting ready to do some shit, and it's going to be crazy. But when we come out of it, it's going to be incredible. And that wasn't even a real estate game. That was something completely different. So in the real estate game, she was like, she's the one that put me on real estate because she saw the business that we was in before wasn't flourishing, and she was like, we got to do something different. And she slowly spoon fed me and put me in this direction and that direction. Even though my mom was close to it, I still, because I didn't feel the pain enough. And once I really felt the pain, I was like, all right, let's do something different. And that's why, she put me on YouTube, where YouTube as an education platform where you could consume tons of information and be able to change your situation. And I mean, YouTube for me, man, was big for sure. Big. I mean, I've only been cooking for 2 years, and I've been with my wife for 12 years, and she's like, "Yo, you mean to tell me that this whole time you knew how to do this, but you had me cooking?" I was like, "I just never tried."
So you learn most of the stuff you learn from YouTube.
Learn how to cook.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
So you've been learning from YouTube. Okay.
Yeah.
Who your go-to person? Not to change subject. Who your go-to person?
There's a guy named Nick. He do his YouTube channel is called Teach and Feed. He's Teach and Feed, man. Sometimes you probably won't understand what he's saying, but he'll get the meal down to.
Oh, he's Jamaican.
Jamaican, yeah. But if I want to learn anything, I go to TikTok, I go to YouTube, and I just study, and then I just take action. So ain't nothing.
Well, let's put a twist on that, because some people, we're just trying to help people. We can't live somebody else's life, and we say we do something and we ain't in it. Because sometimes when if it's not affecting the household financially, right, then that's one thing. But if a sacrifice has to be met to try this opportunity financially, that's another thing, right? Mm-hmm. And then it's going to also depend on your history on you've done other stuff and we getting evicted, so you're going to have, if you got like all that type of history behind you, so we have to take in all those situations, like, so we got kids and all that. But so I get it. So it ain't just cut and dry. Either she with me or she ain't, or he ain't with me or he ain't. Because I know it could be other factors from just your overall relationship that affects that decision for them to pursue, just using this as an example, right? And then the other thing is now, part of, like, we just talk about the KISS method. Now, that doesn't cost you anything. That's just putting the time in, right? That doesn't literally cost you anything.
And still people get upset.
Yeah, and so so that doesn't even that cost you anything. So that can't be the reason. Now, and so now it's about time management at that point. And you could do a lot of stuff in silence too. Like, you can't get no private time by yourself, you know what I'm saying, do stuff or whatever, so you ain't got to tell everybody what you're doing. So if it's going to be an issue with that person, try to, not that you're sneaking behind the back, you're just trying to keep the peace, but at the same time trying to benefit my family is the way I'm going to look at it. Mm-hmm. Now, me personally, I ain't, I ain't married, but relationship and stuff exists or whatever, but I just ain't gonna be signing. So I ain't got no kids tied, so it would be that for me, you don't get it, you don't get me. You know what I'm saying? Because any of this stuff that we doing, or we can go and eat at what the name of the damn restaurant we went to?
Hoyle's
Kitchen. Trust me, it's because of what I'm doing. Like, eat a $200 meal is because of stuff that I do or whatever. So I don't want nothing. I'm just gonna be real with you. Because you being able to ride in this, you being able to live like this, it's because of the stuff that I've done, the risk and the sacrifices that you don't even know I'm making, because you know what I'm saying? Because of how I get down. So I ain't gonna hear nothing. I'm just telling you. It might sound whatever y'all want to call it, but I ain't gonna hear nothing. Because what I'm able to provide, hey, I'm not the only option out there. I just put it like that.
You had some people sleeping on the couch tonight. I was like, hey,
I ain't telling nobody to do that. I'm just telling you, with me, like I talk to somebody. Well, I got to talk to my wife. I can't control that, but I'm like, huh?
All we saying is, it is got to get that.
I know a lot of times people use it as an excuse to get your butt off the phone too. Now, I know that exists also. I know. Normally, when I hear that, I know it ain't finna happen, right? Like my boy that says sales, he used to be like, say, "Do you have to ask your wife to put gas in your car?"
Look, a real question.
Right. He used to just be like, oh my God, he'd be embarrassed with what he was saying. When I used to go with him to when I was doing the pre-arrangements for cemetery, when you bury plots and stuff. Oh yeah, he'll be just like, oh my God. He said, man, I can't stand when they say that to me, man. He said, that's why I go to the left on some of my response calls. I already know it ain't gonna happen, so it don't matter what I say or whatever. Because a lot of times people, it really ain't that. That's an excuse to get you out their face, the way he looked at it or whatever. So
I feel like a good point that both of you are making is that you go through that stuff, make those sacrifices, even if somebody doesn't necessarily agree with you. What you're doing is going to help them in the long term. So you're willing to go make those sacrifices to help not only yourself but everybody that's around you as well.
Now I know some horror stories out there now. While I'm sitting there talking crazy. It's some cats that then took risks like that and they got them living on a bridge because they took those risks. So I get that. I know it's another side of it too now, because it's hard to make any business work. But some risk and sacrifices have to be taken somewhere and at some point. And there ain't no way around it.
I think the biggest thing, man, is
let's get her on right quick since she's been
okay.
Yeah.
Good. You gonna click it? Okay.
There we go. Oh, we in business, baby.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. All right. So down at the bottom, you see where it says present. Oh, you can't hear? You can't.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All right. So you see where it says present?
Mm-hmm.
And then you see hit share screen.
Yep.
All right. A window should pop up.
Okay.
And at the top right, you see where it says entire screen. You see where it says entire screen right up there.
Yeah, right. I got it.
All right, click that, and then the box appears below. Hit that where it says entire screen again. Back to the left, just down a little bit. Just click on that image. It's like your screen. You're probably seeing what you see.
Oh, God. You
don't see it?
I think she just popped it. I can put it on the screen now.
Yeah, okay, boom. There we go. All right. So now what you want to do is, so go over to Zillow. Just open up a tab and go to Zillow. Okay.
Can you see it?
Yeah, you're in business. So now you go to just put in the search bar right there. Just put in whatever, just select one of those down there. Yeah, that's fine. All right. Okay, so right there where it says reset all filters, you want to click reset all filters. Right, but the bottom right there in the middle of the screen, reset all filters. And then hit apply.
What I went through, wait, stop.
Wait a minute.
I'm hearing the echo. I did all of that.
Hold on, let's continue. Hold on, let's continue. All right, uncheck all of that Except owner, agent listed, except agent listed. You want to leave agent listed selected. Go back. Go back to more. To more, where it says more. To more. Right. Go back for more. All right. You want agent listed. Hit apply. All right. Go to home type. Deselect all. And then houses. Click. Hit apply. All right. And
Home type.
yeah, you're good. You're good there. All right. On the price, do 50,000 or more. A minimum 50,000. No, 50,000. Go back. No, go back. No, leave that alone. Go back to where it says 100,000 up there. Change that to 50,000. Hit apply. All right. And over to the right where it says sort homes for you. Over to the right. Over to the right. Over to the right. Right there. Change that to low to high. Price low to high. All right. Click on that first one that says 74,900. Ooh, a green button appears. Oh my God.
Thank you.
There you go.
Oh,
That's it? That's what you were looking for?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
No problem at all. No problem. No problem.
we
Yeah.
are here to help. Okay, so.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Famous words of G Money. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Now, I'll just let both of you know we have a ton of new messages that we haven't gotten to. So,
Okay.
what do
Chevy,
you?
what you looking like on time, man?
Wife was just tell me I got to go and get her.
Come on.
Y'all do y'all thing, man. Y'all do y'all thing.
You good? Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so we was on Shaking It with Pepper. So the Ball Beauty, welcome back to the live. The KISS method is basically saying make an offer, no offers equals no deal. So anyone that has made an offer and gotten it accepted has used the KISS method, whether they kept it simple or not. Okay. And Shazam is asking, I also have a question. Maybe you are covering this in the show topic, but I'm getting less than 1,000K back for taxes, and I want to launch my commercial real estate wholesaling business. Any advice?
So he getting less than 1,000?
Less than 1,000, right?
Oh, let me see. Well, again, with commercial real estate, you have to number one, you have to identify a property type that you want to target. Property types. Normally, you do one, maybe two. What I mean by that is, are you going to target hotel, motels, self-storage, multifamily, office space, medical office space, retail strip centers, retail space, single tenant, warehousing, industrial. So you have to choose a lane at that point. And probably just out of those, and it won't cost you anything. If you just target the self-storage stuff, I have a training on that. If you text mini, 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 to 205-964-5243, I show you how to number one, build a list, and also provide a script on how to have that conversation at that point. And so from there, you simply just put the work in as far as generating the lead. I would love to work with you if you find something that's an actual deal. That won't cost anything. Now, if you want to say, hey, I don't really do that, blah, 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 then, I sell that particular course, I guess you would say, if you just a part of the Flipman Partnership Network, it's in there in addition to the network. That's only $97 a month. So not only do you get access to that and other courses, but, we answer questions inside the group also. So So you can jump and dive into that now. Now, on the flip side of that, with multifamily, you could do the similar thing using the same method that you use with the self-storage to build list through that training that free training that I have. You're still going to reach out to owners or whatever and see if they're interested in selling their multifamily property also. So that's the number. Then, of course, the KISS method allows you to target multifamily nationwide also. So it just, you don't really have to spend any of that money in reality if you don't want to. So it's my two. Hopefully that made sense.
Ram City Fisher wants to know what the heck were y'all doing before wholesaling, and what made you make the switch? Who was the one to spur you into real estate?
Well, I was working at Bell South, which is now part of AT&T. I was in collections. I had worked in a previous stint there in customer service, but basically about the same gig. So I was basically a customer service rep. Right now, at the time, as far as the outside business that I was attempting was prepaid legal, which I think is called Legal Shield now or whatever. But ever since my early 20s, you know, I've had an entrepreneurial appetite to try to start my own business, but just never succeeded at anything. Now, who got me started or interested in real estate? A friend of mine and his now wife were going to school to become real estate agents. The guy that normally taught the class wasn't there that night. And the guy that replaced him that night, his name was Don Williams. He's passed on now. R.I.P. to Don, the great one. And he didn't talk about being a real estate agent that night. He talked about creative ways to run money as a real estate investor with no money. And so my friend, we knew each other from college, knowing how I was. He mentioned it to me, I guess, to see if I even knew anything about it, would be interested in it. And I had never heard of anything like that. That was in October of 2002. And so I didn't act on it at that time. A couple of months later, I was at my mom's house for Christmas. And it was a couple of days after, December 27th to be exact. And I was up waiting on her to, up early, and she was preparing breakfast. And I was watching an infomercial that I had seen over the years. The guy's name was Carlton Sheets. And, like with most infomercials, they don't tell you anything, just how much money Carlton helped me make, blah, blah, blah. But it really didn't tell you anything. And I was watching, I caught it about half the way through. And back then, if you change the dial and go up to a different station, you'll see the same infomercial again. All right. So I watched it from beginning to end. Now, again, I hadn't seen it over the years, but I watched it at the end of that infomercial. I was like, he can't be lying about all of this. And so back then, my mom didn't have internet access. And so when I got back to Birmingham, here in Birmingham, which is 3 hours from where I grew up, and I went to this entrepreneur message board. It was called ablake.net. I don't think the site is still up. And I asked the question, does Carlton Sheets program really work? And only one person replied. I wish I could meet that individual. I'd probably never be able to find him. And he said, yes, it does. But Ron LeGrand's course is better. Did a search. I don't know if Google existed back then, Yahoo, whatever it was.
Yahoo.
Found Ron's website, and he had a quick turn real estate course package. It was $1,500. That time I didn't have that money, right? And they had a condensed version of it that you could order for $69.99, $80 with shipping. I received it. It was in cassette tape form. Still didn't tell you anything, but Ron is really good at explaining this stuff. And it was just teasers. So when you don't know anything about it, right? If you don't know anything about it, then you're going to, he was just ramping me up to, hey, I'm going to buy that $1,500 course, even if I have to get a second job, right, to save the money. And so a couple of days later, I thought about eBay, did a search on his name, Ron LeGrand, and know that exact course, they had multiple auctions on it. I bid it, lost the auction. And back then, eBay allowed sellers to email bidders. The guy emailed me, asked me, did I want a bootleg copy of the course? I think he initially said like $700. We ended up agreeing to $400. Some didn't get paid that month, I can assure you. Don't know, I don't remember what, but it was a sacrifice that I made. I spent $400, bought his quick turn real estate program, It had lease options, subject to, rent to own, building a rental portfolio, fix and flipping, wholesaling, ways to market to find deals, scripts, how to talk to sellers. It was just going from zero. I'm not like knowing zero about real estate to being bombarded with all of this information. Just an unbelievable package of information. Now, because there was so much information, I had no experience in real estate. I still had a ton of questions, right? But I had no one to ask. He said he said in the course, you don't believe this stuff is real. What you're going to do is you're going to go ask one of your relatives or friends that's a real estate agent, can you wholesale houses, blah, blah, blah. And guess what I did? I did exactly that. And he said, they're going to tell you that this is illegal. You're going to need a license. And guess what my guy said? This is illegal and you're going to need a license. For me, that just reiterated that Ron knew what he was talking about. And so long story short, I bought some bandit signs, overpaid for them. I didn't know what a good price was for them. Put them out, picked them up on a Friday, put them out on a Sunday morning. First 2 calls I got were deals. That was totally luck, guys, because I had no idea what I was doing or whatever. So, but that's how I got started. So there you go. I know I hadn't did the long version in a minute, but that's the long version.
That's the long version.
I stopped at the deal part of it, but
so he got a treat by going through the story.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said, yeah, that's fine. Thank you so much for explaining your story.
Yeah.
And okay. Charlotte P wants to know, what website are y'all using to see if the homes are being flipped or hold? She's talking about Investor Base.
Yeah, if you text the word BOSS to 205-964-5243, I'm going to put it up here on the thing right here. Yeah, if you text the number there, or you can text feed too. Where is it? You can text feed to the number also, and that'll take you over to that same site or whatever. So, yeah.
And Gunmetal Ghost, I've been at this a while. I've gotten real close to getting my first deal, but no cigar yet. There always says I'm lowballing.
Aggressive offers.
And Ram City Fishing wants to know, can we find you deals he'd like to JV?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. I'll put my info ticker at the bottom here. Yeah, just email me, type deal you later. Yep.
All right. Let's see. All right, and Ram City Fishing, he was following up with his message. He said, I like that mess up part because I've done messed up so many times. I had mentors who just didn't teach me what worked. I ended up finding a JV partner who was trying to charge me for mentorship. So. And let's see here. Massive action. Yeah, that's true. I'm just trying to go through here ones to see where people are asking a question, because there are a lot of people just responding to what you were saying.
About what?
Everything throughout the show.
Okay.
You know, like for example, the Ball Built Beauty is saying, don't overthink it. Take action.
Oh yes. What's up, Sharon?
Soul Soldier saying, when partner owns split and flip deals, when we get a yes, or maybe will you facilitate the offer to the agent and we wait on the check, clarifying my full part in the deal.
Yeah, if you want to work with me on the split and flip of land, just get them to say that they're open to it, and I'll send you over a quick diagram of what we're willing to offer on it. And I may not do that full offer because that takes just a little bit more time or whatever. I just may send you just some general. Well, you know what? I'll send the whole thing on because we got to let the agency how much money they can make on it. So, I'll work with you on it. It just takes a little time to put those together, and because it takes a little bit more research than just doing a house. So, maybe give me a day or so. I'll know if you send something over. So,
All right. Gunmetal Ghost has a question. So, in your opinion, do you need a data finder like PropStream or XLeads to find deals?
Man, if you can access, I'm an affiliate of for a PropStream for sure, but Whenever you can have a tool at your fingertips like that with that much data information is always if that's a fit in your budget, it's a no-brainer. You got to have it if it fits into your budget, because they're not going to do deals for you. Nothing's going to do deals for you at this point. AI might turn into that, but as of right now, nothing's going to do deals for you, but it can make it a lot easier to do deals. You know, so you could text the word tool, TOOL, to 205-964-5243. 205-964-5243. I'll put it on the screen here.
Right. And but who I am to make blind offers, do we still use the percentages from KISS with blind offers?
Yeah, on houses for sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. We did that one. And Carlton Hobbs, I think it's my first time seeing you on the live. Yes, we still do comp properties. If you have the address, we'll do that. And these people are saying thank you. Elijah Dream, welcome to the live. Do you do deals in Florida? I would like to JV. I'm also a realtor.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Find us something, Playboy. Elijah. ED.
All right. Jody Killer, welcome to the live. Is this list source still value to get deals?
Wow, boy, I ain't heard that name in a minute. I hadn't used list source in a minute. I don't even know how good it is compared to some of the other ones right now. But what I recommend, if you text tool, TOOL, that's what I use to build lists with, mainly for houses and stuff like that. But yeah, I hadn't heard that name in a minute.
The list source, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Robert from Facebook said, I can get 14 land bundles side by side, zone for residential. They're asking $800K.
Hey, you see my email address scrolling? Well, it was.
Right there.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's my email address. You can just email me out. We'll take a look at it. Worth a look.
And same thing for you, Elijah. He's asking again, how do I connect with you guys? But it's on the screen right now, Elijah.
Yeah.
And then
at dealyourlater.com. Make sure you spell dealyourlater. It's a play on the word calculator. Remove the CALC and replace it with deal, DEAL, ULATOR.
And Carlton, I guess he wants us to do this property in Augusta.
It's a house.
I'm assuming it's a house, but he had just asked, do we still comp property?
Yeah, we'll figure it out. All right, so what's the address?
It's 927 Miller Street in Augusta, Georgia. 927 Miller Street. Augusta, Georgia, yeah.
All right. Is this it right here? Look at here. All right. So on this property right here, let me go back. So let's see. What is this? 48,000. What'd that say? Ooh, 118. Ooh, that's all over the board. And 103. So what's the name might be wrong. Zillow might be wrong on that. All right, so let's do this then. So let's see what buyers are paying. This is a simple thing. Let's see what buyers are willing to pay in this area. So what I'm about to show you now, that's when you text feed to 205-964-5243. But to access that particular tool, paste. All right. All right. So 91 right there. Show 92. Okay. That's nothing. 54 there. 18. Let's look at these two here. So let's compare this one. So let's drag this over here. And we're going to build us a little thing with you. Let's see. So we're going to use Zomps and build up us a little closer look here to make sure we're comparing apples to apples. So we'll look at this one. Wish there was more activity here. Oh, that's a newer house right there. Okay, so we'll add that. We'll add this one. That was rail rehab. That's nice. They did their thing in that, boy.
Yeah.
Let's look at this one, 145. Interesting. Okay. Let's look what these three look like. Okay, so ours was built in 1906, and we got a 2006. We're gonna automatically throw that one out. So we got ours is 2,100 square feet. Wow. Okay, so I don't know if we'll be able to get that value back on it, but I really like this one instead because it's closer in ours, but ours is so much bigger though. Yeah. But the good thing is I know they'll sell in this price point around 116 a square foot. I'm gonna use a number of 200,000 instead, right? On that as actual number, and it's a huge house, so I'm gonna have to be discounted on the repairs a little more. But I'm gonna use 200,000. Why did it do that? Oh, it put that list price in there. Let's do 200,000. So we're at 100, but I think the repairs are going to be a little bit. Well, they're going to be a little bit more. They're going to be more. So instead of 100K on those repairs, I'm probably going to do, because it's almost like double the size of those other houses. I'm going to probably say we need to probably be around 50 as far as a purchase price on that, because it's going to easily cost probably 75 to 100 to renovate that thing, right? And so I would want to probably be around 50K on it, if not less.
Okay. All right. And a Soul Soldier wanted to ask you a question about a property that was on Lamont Road. He's saying, I sent a split and flip deal. You sent a layout of the offer. Not sure if you sent an offer to the agent.
Oh, did I send it to him?
I guess that's what he's trying to figure out. I guess he's trying to figure out what part does he play. Once you send the actual flip and split deal, does he go send it back to the realtor?
Yeah. When I send what I send back to you is what you're going to send over to the agent.
Yeah. So that's how it works.
Yeah.
And Carlton said thank you.
No problem.
Augusta. And that's it. Playboy.
All right. So we've been rolling pretty hard, almost 2 big ones. Oof. All right. So appreciate everyone that joined us today. If you want to access that flip and split and flip training, just text the word clip to 205-964-5243. You want to join the Flip Man Partnership Network, get in the group and mix it up. Text the word ship to 205-964-5243. Cash buyers list, text feed. Nationwide, text feed to 205-964-5243. You want to use the best land tool in the game, text APN to 205-964-5243. So with that being said, appreciate you guys for making this work. Thanks, and we will see you guys on the FLIP SID.
Text me and I'll text you back. Text me and I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. You text me then I'll text you back. Text me then I'll text you back. TikTok, you don't stop. I will help you make your paper stack. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at now? 205-964-5243. Now you know 205.